show. There.
Good for you doing all this, Juliet. Are you sharing with the world?
So I'm simulcasting right now. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So all of a sudden I was like, you need to be in there, but I forgot. We're together.
So can I do that? Oh, so it's just, I can't really share, or can I share with the world, or do I have to listen?
Do you hear us?
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear us? Oh, look, people are already on LinkedIn.
That's so fun.
Okay, let's get our video on. You can share with the world. Use your
Is this delay? That's really
Yeah, hi guys. How are you guys?
I'm figuring all this out.
My hair types.
This is great.
Okay, look at us.
Love it. It's bright.
It is bright.
Sun will move slowly over.
You can't, right? You can't
The
kind
sun
of predict the sun.
shining on Mimosa Bar.
So good morning, guys. We are here with YNS Live, NFL Thread. We are here from the Hall of Fame Luncheon Fashion Show, Mimosa Bar. Give us a little.
Well, there's so much going on. It's just so exciting that right now we are waiting for Dr. Cody from the Crystal Clinic Plastic Surgeons, and they did a Mimosa Bar this year. This is the second year that they've done it. It's right outside of the Civic Center here. And there's also these beautiful pop-up shops everywhere with great product that I can't wait to hit later on.
Okay, thank you, Gina. All right, so there's a little bit of an echo. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let's see. Gina, is this better? Is it less of an echo? If we're talking like this, is that better? Less of an echo? Still slight echo. Okay, hold on. Is that better? Is there less of an echo then? Thank you, Gina, for being our sound. Oh, much better because the computer is on. We got it. We figured it out. Okay, so now, and Gina says we sound good. Everything's great. Okay. Thank you. See, this is what happens when you go live, right? So we have let's take them through what we did yesterday. So last night we went to the Hall of Fame game. We got on the field, which was so fun because we have our media passes. We got on the field. We actually got to, there was a couple times we had to kind of get out of the way because they were practicing, and we almost got in their way not really got in their way, but as they were throwing on the sidelines. So that was really, really cool. We got to go downstairs in the media room, and then, it was awesome.
It was a great experience, and they had it so...
You need to get closer.
Everything was just so organized and just beautifully put together. It was great seeing the Jacksonville Jaguars there with the Las Vegas Raiders. On a personal note, it was a wonderful experience walking through the whole evening with Kim Wheatley and Tamari, watching TJ play. He had a great series. He had a great game. We got to meet his coach afterwards, and Coach Pacelli, and it was just emotional for me seeing him and seeing them and watching them from that perspective.
Right.
Watching them go for, and I watched him, cheer on TJ at Michigan, and to see him now, and it's just incredible. It was a great night for me emotionally.
Well, and it was really cool for me to sit there and watch as thinking about, I was talking to Tamari, who's TJ's sister, and Kim, like my kids are in high school, and how I feel when they go out on the field and then watching their son, their brother. And what did she say? It was so cute. She's like, my heart's beating. Why am I so nervous?
Why am I so nervous? My heart is racing. And then it was like really great, and I wish him the best. And like just with all the guys right now that are, at that point where the rosters have to be trimmed down soon, and they're hoping to make that roster. It's only 53 men on the roster, but of course with the pop squads and just like that, and IR, it's a little more, but it is an emotional thing. But the game was so much fun. Canton is incredible. We were sitting actually next to one of the board members.
Oh, we were?
And and he was telling me everything that's happening with the village and the things that they're doing. It's just going to be incredible to see how it grows.
Which is really, really fun. So, I see you guys popping in. Literally we're going to be on for a while. We have a ton of people. Dr. Cody is with Crystal Clinic Plastic Surgeon.
Yeah.
He's going to be here. He's going to talk about, he actually is the sponsor of the Mimosa Bar.
Right.
Like we're looking out and seeing that, which will get you guys some, we were up, we were up until 1 a.m. and then hit the bed. That's why I'm a little got a little hoarse. But this is what you do when you do live shows and when we do events like this.
Right.
So we're gonna go get Dr. Cody.
Yeah, I'll run and get him. We'll just hang out and talk. And
Perfect. Okay. And we're gonna figure out. I guess we have a little bit of an echo still, so I got to figure out why we have a little bit of an echo. So I'm gonna pause. There's still some
It's
echo.
early, so that's good.
Yes, we'll figure that out. I'm thinking maybe I have to turn the volume down on LinkedIn. Is what I'm thinking.
Why don't you try it now before I get the dogs?
Okay, so hold on one second.
You guys will be our guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so hold on a second.
You guys will be our guinea pigs.
Okay, Gina, you're getting better now. No echo. Okay, so I muted LinkedIn. So that's what anyone out there that's doing live shows, when you're streaming on a number of things, you can't have all the volumes up.
Oh, that's good to know. So, because there are a lot of guys and a lot of people out there that have podcasts that are probably listening in. So, you muted the computer.
You have to mute the computer. You have to mute.
Was on the computer that we were running through.
Okay, because I do like to hear ourselves on here, but I have to know, which is really funny.
I like not hearing.
I know.
It's like so much better. Oh, wait, then I'm going to get Dr. Cody and I'll be ready.
Yes, no echo. Okay, we did it.
Good. And tell them all about the pop-up shops and everything now.
Yeah, so the outside, there's all these different pop-up shops. This is really cool. So we are in Canton, Ohio, for anyone that doesn't know, anyone that's jumping in any of the places that we're streaming, which is really fun. We are here in Canton, Ohio at the Hall of Fame event. That sun is right in my eyes. But so we are here, and there is literally right in front of us, a whole luncheon that's going to be happening. So if you've been following YNS Live with NFL Thread, we are going to be talking to a ton of the women that are here. Then there's a whole fashion show, and then there's the gold jacket enshrinement, where we're going to be doing kind of like man on the street outside, kind of live. We will be bringing it to you all on Fireside, which is really fun. And Dr. Cody is going to be coming in. But so outside, when you come into the convention center, there's this whole amazing pop-up shop where people can go and shop. There's the luncheon here with the Mimosa Bar, and then there's going to be over 5,000 people here. So this is going to be really, really fun to see who all of a sudden, sometimes some people have a couple of mimosas and they're like, wait, I want to be on the pop-up shop. I want to go, which is really fun. So we're going to bring Dr. Cody. I see him coming in. And we're going to be bringing you guys some live from behind the scenes and what people are doing. So we're going to have you come in here. So this is Dr. Cody. Cynthia, you get in. I'm going to move over a little bit here. We're tight because you got to do this. A little bit here. We're tight because you got to do this. Yes, here. So we can move
on screen. I noticed that even when I was in
yes,
TV.
Here. So we can. Now, Dr. Cody, what I'm going to ask though is that you got to get close into that microphone. Okay, so Dr. Cody with Crystal Clinic Plastic Surgeons.
Correct.
I know the sun is right in my eyes. Hopefully my skin looks good.
Perfect. Perfect.
I didn't even think of that as it said that.
Do you ever just
Sin, you gotta get close.
like you're like, oh, I can do this, and
I try not to, but
I try not to.
I'm happy not to, but if asked, I'm happy to.
We'll have to talk after this nice sun. But so I know know that you are doing the sponsor of the Mimosa Bar. You've been here for a couple of years. Give us a little background of who you are, where people can find you, and just what you're all about.
So I'm Derek Cody. I'm a plastic surgeon with Crystal Cody Plastic Surgeons. We're one of the largest plastic surgery groups in the region. So we are really excited to be a part of the Hall of Fame weekend. And the fashion show for us is just a way for us to give back and a way to the community that supports us so much. And we know just a little bit about fashion shows ourselves. We do a big fashion show in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Breast Reconstruction Awareness Day. So we're going to get a few pointers today.
That's awesome.
So
Cindy,
wait,
you gotta
how
get
did
close.
you guys get involved?
Yeah,
with
so
it?
we got involved just through outreach and supporting the community that supports us. So we are excited to do our second year of the Mimosa Bar, where we're going to give out some information about our plastic and reconstructive surgery care that we provide, and just hope to educate our community.
So, so I this is what I do. So Cindy, when you come in, you gotta Gina say. I know she's saying you gotta come in closer. So we're all about stories. We're all about connecting people. When you hear someone's story, you feel more connected. So people out there listening, they're gonna want to know a little bit about you. Like, why did you get into plastic surgery?
All right. So plastic surgery for me was just I went to medical school and I wasn't really sure, but I realized how much we can do and change people's lives as plastic surgeons. I do reconstructive surgery. I do cosmetic surgery. Every day is different for me. I love it. It's just the best thing. If I couldn't do plastic surgery again, I probably would do some other career. I mean, I love it that much.
You do? Okay. Yeah. So
I do.
No, you just pull it in here.
Oh, I don't have.
No, you just pull it in here.
Reconstructive, like that has to be so emotional because something happens to somebody or somebody's been living with something and you're able to help them.
You know,
What does that feel like?
that to me is just one of the most amazing feelings. I see patients who come to me at difficult points in their lifetime, and I can help them get back to their life as normal. Reconstructive care after breast cancer is something I do a lot of.
Oh, I love that.
That's, we have these bonds with women for a long time, and they trust us. We get to know their families. All of our models and our pink runway events.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I get to see people for cosmetic purposes who just want to look and feel their best, and that's just as gratifying. I don't think people realize how gratifying it is for me to help someone cosmetically.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Now, I have a question as a woman.
Do you
Now,
think
I've noticed,
and I think that
the trends are that the younger generations are addressing
everything
about themselves
and they're
early.
instead of like going
Instead of like going in saying, I would like to have a facelift and change everything, they're just staying on top of it. And do you notice that too? And are you a big fan of that? And do you
Yeah, I think maintenance is the key. If we can do some small things early on, maybe we don't need the bigger surgeries down the road. So a little prevention is very important.
I love that. So again, I'm going to go a little bit back. Because you obviously have a service heart, right? Because you want to help. And so I love that. And so people that have service hearts, you see the different paths that people go. It can be, into volunteering. You obviously were, well, I shouldn't say that. Were you good in school? So it was kind of one of those things that I'm good in school. I have a service heart. I want to be a doctor for whatever reason. Can you take us through a little bit of that journey?
Yeah, so that journey for me, I love science. I didn't know I wanted to be a doctor. I thought I might be a scientist.
Okay.
I love to help people. So what better way to help people and use science than as a physician?
Right.
And for me, I like to kind of take this everywhere. I've gone on mission trips to Kenya, Haiti, South America. So it's just a wonderful opportunity for me to give back in so many different ways. So the service part I get to satisfy here locally as well as internationally.
Right.
And still a little bit of a scientist.
Right. When you do
gotta go
these trips, are the trips in conjunction with your
I know you
clinic?
mentioned you had other partners, like you're one of 8 partners. Do you guys do that together, or is this something completely separate? And how do people find out about such things?
Sure. So a lot of our partners do participate in clinics, and we've gone on to mission trips together. I go to mission trips with a group of doctors from California where I used to practice. I also go with a group of doctors here locally as well. And so I have 3 or 4 groups of physicians throughout the country that I collaborate with, and we meet up for these trips. And it's the most amazing experience.
Yeah.
It is. I learned as much there as I teach someone.
Oh my, you have
Right.
to fall in love. Do you guys do that together, or is this something completely separate? And how do people find out about it?
Sure. So
Fall in love with. So
Which-
what about today? What
You-
is today like for you? Like what will we hear for the luncheon, for the fashion show?
So the day is just really exciting for me. I'm going to kind of enjoy the ceremony. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. National spotlight on Canton in Northeast Ohio. So we just are going to soak it in and share as much about what we offer the patients as we can, and just have a good time.
That's so cool. So again, I just want a tiny little bit. So were your parents, like, did you see your parents in service, or was there an aunt, uncle, or someone in, a neighbor? There was something that you saw as a kid, or were you just born that way? I'm always fascinated with that.
My mom's a teacher.
Yep.
So she has this work ethic, and she really instilled in us the importance of helping others and giving back, and just showing us a good direction, and just showing us maybe I was a little bit of a mama's boy as a helper bake, a mama's boy as a cook. So I don't know, but it was. I think I got a lot of it. And she was a big proponent of education, and she supported us in sports. I played football in high school and college, so it was. I just love being here because I love football, I love plastic surgery, and we're having fun being here.
That's amazing. So tell people where they can find you. Oh, good.
Well, wait, I want to know where you played college ball.
So I played at Ohio Wesleyan University in Ohio, and I played for Winville High School in Cleveland. So just a fun journey for me.
That's so cool. I love that.
And so, and to get back to your question, we have offices in Canton, Cleveland, Akron, and all points in between. And we are one of the largest groups in the region with expert care for cosmetic procedures, reconstructive procedures, and it's just a fun time to be a plastic surgeon.
I love it. I love it. So actually, for all I'm dyslexic. So for all my dyslexic listeners, can you spell, and so people can find you, because there's different ways to spell Crystal. And
Crystal Clinic is just crystalclinicplasticsurgeons.com. That's our website. And we have locations all over the country, all over the region. And we see people from all over the country.
Right.
And we see people.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much. I love the stories. I love getting a little bit about, and again, as our listeners know, and people that are tuning in, stories connect. So someone heard your story and they love that mission-based part of you, and they're going to go see you because of that. There's other people that are going to research and be like, okay, he's talking this game, I want to go into that. But so that's why it's so important to share a little bit part of you. And so we thank you from YNS Live with NFL Thread.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure meeting both of you. Thank you for having me. We're going to have a great weekend, and we're going to have a great weekend.
And I'm going to talk to you afterwards, because that sun is right in my
We'll see you out there.
All right.
We're heading out. We're heading out to the Mimosa Bar and all the shops.
Yes.
You did a nice job.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, thanks again.
Well, thank you so much. Take care.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you. I know in the beginning we had some, we had a little echo, and then we got that fixed. And I guess there's. Oh, yep. Hold on one second. Yeah, of course. No. Hold on one second. I'm going to put the weight back up, and we're going to come back. And we're going to come back for a second. My weight back go. Oop. Fine. Hold on one second, guys. No, not at all. Give us 1 second. We'll be right back.
If you don't mind.
Yes. Okay, I gotta call Alex. Can I just hit this?
If you put anything up there, it's input red. Sure. And then YNS.
So it's you don't mind. Why don't we give a card?
Oh yeah, here you go. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, guys. No, that's awesome. Appreciate it.
Okay, so thank you.
Take care.
Okay, I'm gonna mute.
Right,
So
I am.
the music on. It didn't mute. I muted it, but it didn't mute. So that's why in the beginning. But then we figured it out as we were talking.
Good.
But that could be a little.
Wait, so while he was talking, there was music?
There was music. I mean, it was light music, so they don't know if it was. They don't know where it's coming from.
Oh, good.
But you have to get closer.
I know,
Gina
you're
was
gonna yell at me.
Well, no, Gina said you can't hear you at all.
I know.
So it's just him answering. So you have.
I don't mind that.
No, because then it sounds weird. Because then he's like, it's going to be weird for when we published it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Is there another microphone?
No, that's the thing.
Can I do from my phone like I usually do?
No, because then that will give us a bad echo. Hold on, I got to call Alice real quick.
Oh, jeez.
Mute Cynthia and you should be good. Wait, what? No, Cynthia's not on there. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I am on
You
here.
have two
I
devices.
am on here.
You're on Fireside?
I mean, I'm sharing.
But you're not in the room, are you?
Am I?
You need to turn
Yeah, I
down
am in
on
the room.
laptop or phone.
I am in the room.
There we go. You mute Cynthia. That's the issue. Mute Cynthia.
That's the issue.
So you are on Fireside.
Do you want me
Live?
to get off of it?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to
just have to
share?
mute. No, keep it. Okay, so that's what I didn't realize. Right, I didn't realize that. Okay, so we're just going to mute her. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay,
See?
bye.
I had to get back to the.
Here, where are you? No, so you're in there. All right, guys. So, Dr. Cody, that was awesome. I know there was some music in the beginning, but we are now perfect streaming. We got the sun in here. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, this is YNS Live with NFL Thread. Cynthia Zordich and I are here broadcasting from the Hall of Fame. If you have tuned into our Super Bowl events, this is going to be very similar, where we have people coming, talking about what they do, talking about why they're here, not just for the events. There's a whole pop-up shop outside. There's a mimosa bar over here. And we're going to have people coming in and just talking a little bit about themselves, sharing stories that you guys maybe have not heard. And it's really an exciting time to be doing what we're doing. And yeah, okay. So if you guys also, if you have questions, put them in the chat. We can come and we can answer them for you. We have some of the ladies coming, and then we're going to be doing later today. So this is going to be going on for a couple hours. We're going to be bringing some people in, talking, and I will bring I'm like sideways this way, so I will bring the weight back up, and you can bring someone in. Yeah.
So fun.
So that's what I'm thinking. You should maybe in the middle, and then, but maybe not. How do you? So we're not. Okay, so hold on. So
see if
I mean,
I
there was
did.
echo with him.
There was?
I wonder if we should bring him back.
No, because we'll mostly share like all the things that he said. We'll write it out. And
Yeah.
then-
Okay, so I'm going to share here for a second. I love that I was. Where are we? Share with followers. This is really fun doing this upside down. Okay. Let's see. So this is what I do the whole time when I'm behind the scenes. Like
Right.
I have to
God
make
bless
sure
you.
it's all.
Yeah, that's good to watch you do this.
Broadcast to the world. So this is message. Let's see. All right. So we're going to be bringing you guys some more people very shortly. Where is my weight bot? Oh, there it is.
There you
We're going
go.
to give you guys some music. Invite to stage.
Nice.
Look at my co-host just brought me. Oh boy. Guys, we are in for it.
Hi, Kelly. This is going to be fun.
Cheers. Hopefully it's a light one, or you guys are going to hear. My mom right now is going, "What are you doing? Hi, Mama." Barbara's in there.
No, oh my God. Hi, Mrs. Williams. I love you.
So this sun is it's literally in 2 minutes, it's going to go over there. And so I won't be all shadowed and stuff. See
Yes,
it? It's
exactly.
like going to go over. I thought that
is
was,
beautiful.
if you guys are just tuning in, we just had Dr. Cody, who's a plastic surgeon, Crystal Clinic Plastic Surgery,
Exactly.
and he's the big sponsor for this mimosa bar. But it was
Yeah.
really funny because the sun was literally right in my face, and as I was talking to him, I was like, "Oh shit,
I was
he's
thinking
looking at
about
my
that.
wrinkles."
I was thinking about that, but I was looking at how beautiful you look. So I was like,
Oh, thanks.
he's thinking, okay, you're good.
Well,
you're moving along.
I
well.
did put a little, I put a little stuff on because usually I won't wear too much stuff, but I was like, I have to. But I was dying laughing because that sun was coming right in my face. I was like, he is getting every wrinkle, every crease. I think I'm getting a pimple here. I was like,
He
oh.
can see everything. He has to be gracious about that, I'm sure.
Well, I'm hoping that he says, I was hoping he'd been like, no, you're perfect.
He's like, yes, often I let him want to do work. But, what I loved most, though, was his mission work. And
Oh my gosh.
the idea was, I remember one time being in a plastic surgeon's office. It was like an oral surgeon. And this boy was in an automobile accident, and they had to completely reconstruct his
Right. I love
entire
that you
body.
asked that question.
Yeah, and so that was so emotional. So you always think of plastic surgery as something cosmetic, but
Right.
it isn't. Sometimes it's changing a life, giving a life
Right.
back because of something like that. And they do that too. And those mission work, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful. And when he said that, did you feel him? Like he
Yeah.
started perking
That's
up.
the
And that's why I was like, here we go.
That's the
This is it.
passion.
And he got a little smirk on his
Yeah.
face.
'Cause
Like
he
that was
knows.
fun. Well, because he knew, because he was like, that's clearly, and when I first said, you must have been good in school. And I was like, wait, pause. Cause not every doctor is good in school. Like, some people struggle, but he had a passion to do it. And that's what we want you guys to listen to with all of these stories. Sometimes it might not be something that you're great at, but it's something that you love so much. And if you love it so much and put that
become
work
great.
in, you become great.
Right.
And you figure out all the ways. So I think Lily's got a question here. Let me lean in. This is one thing. Let's see what Lily has to say. Lily. Will Cynthia be sharing Ohio photographs from her unique lens? She has an interesting perspective and vibe.
I love that.
Lily, you sweet girl. Oh my gosh.
It's emotional.
It does.
really
Well, tell,
does.
because yesterday when we were on the field, so anyone that is jumping in right now, again, we were on the field yesterday. And Cynthia, give it just a little background about
Well,
what you
that
did.
was
Yeah.
pretty cool too, because that brought me back to Philadelphia when, the Eagles were incredible, just allowing me to be on the field and giving me access to shoot and total access. And all the photographers, I had total lens envy down there. I was like,
You
that
did,
lens.
right.
It was just incredible. But the guys were like, look, they were showing me how I could work best with the equipment I had. And then all the photographs that I would take, they were at that time black and white. And I would go into my favorite, Bob Osmond was my printer, and he's
Right.
famous now. Like, he's one of the few doing fine
I
art
love that.
photography. And he was right on Kimball Street in Philadelphia.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Robert Osmond, and if anybody could ever check out his work, he's just an incredible artist himself. But he's a master printer. But I would get them all printed, and then Michael would just go to work on, after our days
Yeah.
off, he would go to work on Wednesday, and he would just lay out all the photos, and the guys would take their photographs.
Right.
They were all for them. But I also would do them for the charities, and Eagles Fly Through Leukemia did a big event.
I
So we
love
started
that.
incorporating the photography into that and having people, the players would sign them, which was great.
Right.
And then the people would bid on them, and that was fulfilling. That
Right.
was really a fun thing to do. That's what, it's just like Dr. Cody. You have a craft, you have something you do, and then you do it work, and then you do it passion.
Right.
And photography has always been that thing that it just rides along with me. And
And I love that Lily knows that because you really,
really sweet.
but you really are super talented. One of my, I think it was my bridal shower. You retouched it. Do you remember? You did this
yeah.
whole really cool thing to a picture when I was little.
Yep.
And that we still have that framed. But you do. I mean, even in your home, just beautiful angles and perspectives. And that's what you can. When we went on the field, I could see Cynthia being like, "Oh my gosh!" And then she was taking pictures with her iPhone, and they were like incredible, the angles and stuff. And when you have those
Yeah, my
eyes,
media pass with my iPhone.
You're
I was
right.
like, I need to. Why didn't I bring my gear?
I know. Well,
Right,
next year we know.
I will know.
So this is
Exactly.
what's so fun about doing this is that we're learning as we go. And
Yeah.
we're like, okay, we're going to get better and better with each time.
Exactly.
And so you guys are along for this journey, which is really cool. You're watching what we're doing evolve
Yeah.
and bringing these stories.
Talking about passion, I think we have the fashion show. Are you the yes indeed? Get in here, please.
You're Ken. Okay, Ken.
Get in here.
Yeah, please sit. So I'm going to have you get as close to the mic as possible, but you probably know all this.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Hi.
So this is Ken. Give us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, I'm Ken Harding. I'm the producer and the stage manager for the Pro Football Hall of Enshrinement Festival Fashion Show Luncheon. That's a mouthful.
Right.
This is, I think, my 5th or 6th year. It gets fuzzy with COVID, the 2020 year, because we did do a lot of prep. We weren't sure, like all things, if it was
Right.
going to happen. So I think it's either my 5th or 6th year, but since 2017, so whatever that math adds up to be.
That's amazing. So this is where YNS Live with NFL Thread. We're all about the stories, connecting
Wow.
people behind the scenes, because not everyone knows that this is going on at the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
They see the game, they see
Yep.
all the stuff that, the traditional media outlets
Yeah,
do.
right.
So we want to know a little bit about you though. How did you get into fashion design, and all what you're doing?
Absolutely. I've been producing events for years. I play in a local band called New Wave Nation, and we've been around for 25 years, and we always put on these big events. And so we had mutual friends that the regime before I came in, Laura Zaleski's production team, she was here for about 10 years. And, she just wanted to get on and do other things. So she reached out to me one year and said, hey, would you be interested in being a part of this? Because you do so well at these events. I'm like, yeah, I was familiar with the fashion show,
Right.
but I didn't know a lot about it. So the first year, her and I sort of worked in tandem together. I was blown away by how nice everybody is at this
Right.
event. I mean, the people behind the scenes, from the Chamber of Commerce to the models to the people, the staff here at the Civic Center to the volunteers. I mean,
Right.
it really does take a village, and I got to tell you, everyone has been super nice. It's amazing. So it's sort of how it's one of the things that attracted me to it, because while it can be stressful and high, getting it all together, getting everything organized, and from walking orders to lighting to
Right.
scene. I mean, there's a lot that goes in. But when you get here, everybody is so well prepared. Everybody is so professional and so well put together that the event seems to run so flawlessly.
Right.
It's super exciting.
Here, get in there.
How many people do you have? I think there's over 3,000
Yeah,
people that come
yeah.
that are here.
This is the largest fashion show in the state of Ohio. It's
Wow.
amazing when you look at it,
That's
the
so
grand
cool.
scale.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, the 58th or 59th year that they've done this here in Canton. I mean, it's like one of the longest running fashion shows too, if not the.
And who, like all of you guys that are listening to wherever you're listening, if you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, or Facebook, or you're here live on Fireside, or you're listening to the replay, I'm sure not many of you knew that. And that's what I love, like knowing, because we call me the lay person or the regular person.
Last night you were doing research.
I was the regular person because I'm not a part of the NFL. I do a podcast. I'm storytelling.
Sure.
And Cynthia and I connected through the podcast. And so it's really cool for us to get these stories out, because
Yeah.
there's so much behind the
Oh
scenes
my
that goes
gosh.
into it that people don't realize. And also, as you said, 58 years, but when you were a kid, when you were a kid, so I'm going to kind of pivot for a second. Were you the guy that you always knew you were going to get into fashion? Like it just was something?
Not
yeah.
necessarily.
Okay.
No, it actually came more from just growing up around different styles.
Okay.
But it wasn't even like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. I wasn't the guy that said, oh my, I'm not at home dressing up things.
Right.
It wasn't like that. It was just like, I love that look, or I love the way that outfit worked.
Right.
Either on a guy or a girl, whatever. I'm like, man, he looks so cool, or she looks amazing. Or so, yeah, you do sort of get drawn into just, especially things that are a little left of center, not the everyday sort of mundane stuff, but more the stuff that's a little to the left or a little to the right.
Well, also being in a band.
Yeah.
No, now you have to, your music.
Absolutely.
How does you wear, like,
Well, that's a funny thing is our particular group. It's an '80s show band. So
Oh, I love that.
ever since we started in '98, we've always sort of took our cue from all the '80s fashions, from vinyl to like jumpsuits and bodysuits and the shoulder pads. I mean,
Right, I love it.
and all that stuff. So we've always sort of done that, and we've always sort of our whole thing has always been audio and visual. So because MTV generation
So
was
cool.
the 1980s,
Yeah.
so we run videos and stuff. So that's how I got into video production. I do a lot of the different video elements you'll see today. Not all of them. Joel Soloway's team does the majority, but there's a lot up there that I've done as well. And that all stems from the band. And so it's all intertwined. That led to this, which led to my production company that's doing other events like Wine, Women, and Shoes for the Mercy Service League and some other events like that.
what is that?
So Wine, Women, and Shoes. Now that's a fun event. That
Right.
is for the Mercy Service League. It happens every year. And this past year we had it at the MAPS Museum. Normally it's in a different arena, but again with COVID and restrictions, they need open air. But it's set up into two formats. There is like the community aspect where it's sort of like what they're doing outside here, the shops that they're doing out here. It's
Right.
like that. It's like a marketplace. You go, all these hot dudes are serving the women wine while they're shopping, essentially.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, and then then they have a sit down meal after that where they do a bunch of auction and giveaways. They do like best in shoe, and there's a fashion show element to it. Of course, the auction, and they raise like. This past year, I think they raised $400,000 for
See,
women's
that's-
cancer research. And what that
I
does,
love that.
it's not just it's not like research. It's more for like what you don't think about with cancer when you diagnose with cancer is the little things. How am I going to get to my doctor?
Right.
They arrange rides for or wigs if they lose their hair. So they do they really do God's work for cancer survivors. So that led to that. So it's all sort of, one thing leads to another kind of thing.
Well, it sounds like, and also, I feel like in all bands, is this okay?
Yeah, I think you get in
I
there.
think in all bands, it's a business.
Absolutely.
And of course, you have your creatives and you have your
But at the end of the
artists,
day-
but then somebody in the band. So are you that guy?
I'm that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always
The
been that guy.
marketing and the
It is.
bookings and
Absolutely. And it all ties together.
that's
It
awesome.
really does because I'm very careful on the look of the band, how we're presented in the public image. We don't just play anywhere. We only do specific things that we want to do, that we're presented. We've actually performed here for the fashion show 4 or 5 years ago. It was my first full year here. We actually did it, and it was amazing.
Right.
And that kind of stuff where you sort of present an image and a look. It all sort of ties together. It really does.
It does. Well, and that's the thing. And I love because there's so many things that you just said that kind of perked my interest. You obviously had an eye for it. You could see that you kind of, did you say you kind of perked up when you
Yeah,
started talking
yeah.
about that? Ooh. And so I think it's the fact that you're able to have both things
Yeah.
behind and kind of intertwine them, as you
Yes.
said, is really cool. So what we love is just to bring the stories, right? We love people are listening right now and
Yeah.
being like, okay, I want to know more about this band. So if you can
Sure.
shout out where people can find you so they can look it up.
So New Wave Nation, like I said, we've been together. Next year will be our 25th year.
Oh, wow.
And so we've been doing this a long time. We're actually based out of Canton, Ohio, but we travel regionally. So
Right.
surrounding states, Pennsylvania, New York, Kentucky, Michigan, just sort of our region.
Yeah.
And it's a show. It's a video. We run video screens throughout the entire thing that sort of take you back. There's elements of the videos from the original artist. Like, if we do like You Spin Me Right Round or something,
Yeah.
there'll be parts of the video in the back. So it
Oh,
paints
so
a
cool.
picture of the
Love
entire
that.
thing. And then we make it modern too. So it doesn't sound dated the way we present it. We put a modern twist on it so it sounds current. Because I got to tell you, there's so many kids coming up in this generation that are finding songs and music like that
Right.
from TikTok and all these other
Right.
things, and it's brand new to them. Like,
Which is really cool because my daughter.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh! Like Break My Stride.
Yes.
That became huge on TikTok. It started charting again, so we started putting it back in the show. And it's funny because it's all like a cycle.
So, you can see, again, you can see where you got excited. So I would love to know if you think about your whole career and the twists and turns, if you can give everyone that's listening, that's like, I want to get into it, but how do I do it? How do I what's the first step? What little advice so someone doesn't feel?
You know what it is? It's always great to network with people. Make yourself available.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, and because that's the biggest thing. People always think, well, I can't do that because of X, Y. You're making your own boundaries. Don't do
Right.
that. You have to say, why can't it be me, or why can't I do
Right.
that? And then you say, well, somebody that does something you're interested in, and say, well, hey, how can I help? Can I just show up? Can I
Right.
assist you? And that's sort of how I got here. The first year that I was ever involved in this, I was just interning because my nephew was in the show. He was 5, and I wanted to see him walk up there,
Right.
And they're like, well, we can't just give you a ticket, but if you want to intern with us, I'm like, absolutely, I
Right.
love that idea. So I interned, and I just fell in love with the whole process. And so that's how it sort of, again, one thing leads to another. So yeah, it's about making yourself available and saying, why can't it be me? And making it happen.
And I love that. And that's so true. Why
Yeah.
can't it be me? Like it doesn't, and so many people hold themselves back
do.
with that limiting belief.
Absolutely.
So-
They look at themselves in the mirror and like, oh no, I'm not a model type, or I'm not an outgoing person, or they have their own anxieties inside, and you have to really push through that. We all
really-
have that.
we do-
but
everyone does, right.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good point. So I know you'll yell at me.
Yeah,
so-
just get in there.
I see that. I'm involved with Off the Field Players Wives Association. We have a fashion
yeah.
show every year. It's
Awesome.
super cool. And what I noticed is the women that you would not expect it
Yeah.
to be are so confident.
Yes.
And they kill the
They
runway.
do. Yeah.
The shyest of all of our boys will
Absolutely.
get up there and
Yes.
just own the crowd.
Absolutely.
And it's really psychological.
It is.
It's incredible.
Absolutely.
Do
It
you
really is.
work with the models like to be like, hey,
We
this
do.
is
It's
your day?
absolutely like we have a meeting scheduled at noon today where we're going to go over that one more time before the show. Things like cues and make sure you're looking and doing the, but also like don't forget this is fun. Like
Right.
do not take yourself so seriously that you miss the joy of it. Go out there, have a good time, but also own it. Own your outfit. Own what you're doing up there. Yet today's your day. You are special. You can make this happen. And that kind of confidence.
I love that.
I mean, it oozes off the stage then. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And you can see that
live
you,
like that.
we
Yeah.
should, but you can also see that you love what you do.
Absolutely.
And so
Love
it's wonderful. Thank you for
Oh my
joining
gosh.
YNS Live
No,
with
thank
NFL
you guys
Thread.
so much for.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch.
Oh, it's going to be a great
I
show.
have one last question for you. Is there a theme today? Is there a particular theme? Or
The
is it-
theme, there's not really a theme per se. I mean, there's color schemes and whatnot, like fuchsia and black and stuff like that, but there's not really a theme. We've tried themes in the past, and by the time you put this all together, it gets lost on people.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? So really, this year in the show, what we did want to do, though, is focus only on the fashions. So
Oh, I love
we've
that.
streamlined it from because our show last year, the only complaint I heard from people was, well, some of the, I could have. We want all the fashions to look good,
Got it.
Right.
everything. So we were a lot more instrumental in picking new stores this year and getting the stores that are our bread and butter that come back every year that we love. We're like, let's try this. How about this year? Oh, that looks great. So just trying to be a little more hands-on
Right.
and asking them to sort of, and then each scene is sort of a theme. Like the first scene is called Fierce and Fab. So those are your over-the-top fashions.
Yeah.
And then the second is like new attitude. So like new clothing. So if a store has an outfit or a look that they're trying to push.
Right.
And then there's Beyond Basic, which are sort of your sort of basic stuff, but maybe flared up. And then, so there's, new Velvet Rope is our like going out nightlife kind of thing. So
Right.
each scene sort of has their own flair to it. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
So
It's gonna
fun.
be a
Well,
good
thank
show.
you so
Oh
much.
my
It's
gosh.
a pleasure meeting
Thank you so much.
Good luck, I'm
Yes,
sure. I
yes,
can
good
tell
luck.
really smooth
It's gonna be
because
great.
your whole way of being
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, very smooth. Yeah, you're chill.
Thank you guys so much. Nice to meet you. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, see, this is what we're doing. We're bringing you behind the scenes to little things that you maybe never would think about. And that's what's so fun about what Cynthia and I are doing with YNS Live and NFL Thread. Look, that sun, but now I feel like I need light over here. Oh, that was, so we might need a little light over here because now we're dark, which is good. So stay tuned because we're going to keep coming. We're going to keep bringing you back. We're going to keep bringing you behind the scenes with some people that are doing different things that you might not know, different stories. It might actually perk one of your interests. You might say, wait, I want to get involved in that. How do I get involved? And what Ken said, which was so important, was about the networking. Networking is so important. Do we not talk about that on YNS Live? All the shows, Thread, Pivot, all of my other shows, networking, talking to people, asking questions, being curious is really what brings people together, Thank you so much, Ken. Yes. And it's such a great, it really is. It's just awesome to be here and talking with people and bringing those stories to you guys. So the ladies are going to be entering soon. You're going to hear all of a sudden, because it's kind of quiet, it's going to all of a sudden get booming, and you guys are going to hear some loud stuff. But we will be back in about 5 minutes and bringing you back some more awesome stories. We'll be bringing you guys some new guests shortly. You can see over here. We're just tweaking some stuff, and I love that you guys get to see this live because it's really fun. So you can see this over here. Yeah. Okay. But if I do this, and then you just, this can be moved even. No. Yeah, but you just. We're going to figure this out. Because we've had a couple different setups here, which again, I love that we're bringing this to you guys because you get to see behind the scenes. And that's what's so fun about live shows that sometimes you don't get to see. My husband's calling me. Daniel, I see that you're calling me. Give me 1 second. He's probably going to tell me that we need to do something. We will be back bringing you guys some. So we're going to stay tuned 5 minutes. If you guys have to go pee, get some water, get some coffee, and we'll be right back. Okay, can you hear me? Because I wanted to make sure that you can hear this because we moved the microphone around. I want to make sure it didn't get unplugged. Hey guys. Okay, so we wanted to move things around a little bit. If you are just joining, this is YNS Live with NFL Thread. We are here at the Hall of Fame event. We are literally looking at so many tables. The girls are going to be coming in here for the luncheon. And then there's over 5,000 people that are going to be attending. We're going to be bringing you behind the scenes, which is so fun. Behind the scenes information, stories. If you just are coming in, we had Dr. Corey, who is the Crystal Clinic Plastic Surgeons. He is the sponsor of the Mimosa Bar, which we just had. My husband actually called me and was like, "Are you drinking mimosas? What time is it?" I love you, Daniel. And we are like, I know that the weight bot is on, so I hope you guys can hear me, but we are excited to be bringing you behind the scenes. And so we'll be back in about 2 minutes. Stay tuned. Hey, Seth. Hey, Barbara, Dan, and other, Lily, Gina, a bunch of people. If you're listening here on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, or what's my other one? YouTube. Welcome, welcome. If you're listening to the replay, we're here at the Hall of Fame event in Canton, Ohio with YNS Live with NFL Thread. So excited to bring you behind the scenes footage of what is going on. If you just tuned in, we had Ken, who is the fashion show producer and designer. He was telling us that the show, I think it's over 50 years here in Canton, the fashion show. And it is the longest running fashion show here in Ohio, which I just love bringing those stories because it is so fun to be able to do that for you guys. So we will be back very shortly with more stories. Stay tuned for YNS Live with NFL Thread. Okay, so we are.
Now or never.
I just muted Mr. Waitbot. Did I mute Mr. Waitbot?
I always said that was a guess.
No, Mr. Waitbot. Hi, how are you? So, welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Cynthia Zordich, my co-host. I am Juliette Hahn, and you got to get close to this mic. So
She's Italian. She'll be everywhere.
yes. Oh my gosh. And so when Cynthia met Kelly, she basically was saying how much we were alike. And then when we met each other, we were like, yes, we are. We love it. So tell us a little bit about you. I would love to know kind of where you grew up and how you got involved in the whole Hall of Fame
Awesome.
business. Yeah.
Well, basically, I'm the third anchor at this point, right? Like, come on.
You're the one that takes
Yes, I love it.
So this is my third year working the event, but usually I get to attend it with my great aunt Joan, and she'll be here today. So I have to have you guys
love
meet
that.
her. But looking forward to it returning as a lunch format, because last year it was a single runway. We had the double class of enshrinees, and this year we have the stage in the center again. So you're gonna love it. You're gonna die. It's so great. And back to the lunch, we have new pop-up markets outside.
Right. We can see them all over
Yes,
here.
everybody's
Look at that. All the
shopping.
people that are out there. It's
And the
incredible.
mimosas. But yeah, I am handling marketing and communications for the event, and then other jobs as assigned. So fun things like bringing in the podcast and
Yes.
kind of putting forward different special guests that we have attending is really exciting. And thank you guys for being here.
We're
This
so
is
happy
just
to be here. We're just so happy to tell everybody's story, because there's so much. The one thing that connects this is passion. Everybody's just
Yes.
so about it. Like, just whether you're moving back home to Canton and fell in love with Canton all over again, or you've been with the Hall of Fame forever. And I just feel like we've just been talking to people that just love this area and love what you guys are doing.
Well, and I'm originally from Cleveland, and it's easy to have, these deep roots in Cleveland. It's where the Browns are. It's where the Guardians now are. We have the lake, just some cool built-in features. And when I moved to Canton at the end of my high school years, everybody has a really strong affinity to their high school and high school football here.
Right.
And so it's a natural tie that we also are home to the Hall of Fame. And so really, taking that and taking advantage of it, because that's what we're known for. Canton, Ohio is the Hall of Fame city. And so events like not only, the fashion show, but Enshrinement Week.
Right.
And the fashion show, this event specifically, is just a fun one because like we talked, it's just different than any other event this week. And it's not all football focused. And so it's one of those easy ones you can jump in. And if this is the only enshrinement event you ever come to, great. If this is your gateway to the rest of the enshrinement events, whether you went to the Hall of Fame game last night or you're going to the enshrinement tomorrow, it's just an easy one to get involved in. And what we find is women make this event a tradition. So
love
we have
that.
girls that came with their moms who are now bringing their kids. And so it's really cool way for you to make a tradition out of the whole week, and starting
Right.
with this event.
Exactly.
Right.
We say for the Super Bowl, when we do a fashion show, there, we say, I'm always like, there is so much for a girl to do at the Super Bowl. And we all just started saying that because we would go, it's not just about that game. It's about everything that goes around it. And
That's
I think
right.
the same holds true for the Hall of Fame. And I am going to be telling everybody that I know about this, because I feel like it is a homecoming for so many players, the Hall of Fame players that come, they come every year.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk to Sharice Brown, for instance. This is a reunion for them.
Right.
And it's an elite group.
This year alone, we have more than 100 returning Hall of Famers.
That's
I mean,
incredible.
out of this year, I believe, okay, don't quote me, 362, I believe the 2022 class makes. That's
Wow.
only 362 people part of this club. And for 100 of those, and we have wives returning whose husbands have passed away, and they continue to return year after year. And that just shows how important this event is to not only our community in Canton, but how they've really made this a second home. They come every year, and our businesses, we sweep off the doorsteps and greet everybody with a smile, and it's really Canton's time to, it's a point of pride for us, and we get to put our best foot forward. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
I
Right.
would have to say, I would tell every single current player and spouse to start making that something that they do with their kids.
Right.
I agree.
I feel like, because really, truly, you are meeting the men and women and children, because they all come,
and you're meeting them in a relaxed, it's very relaxed, and it's very like warm, and you're getting to talk. You're actually having conversations.
Networking.
Like, the rain happened last night. You wouldn't even have known that there was a delay, because everybody just took it as an opportunity to hang out underneath and talk and talk. It was like being at a party,
Right.
You know, and it was, wasn't it wonderful?
It was. It was the energy and the love, as you said, and so many people, from players to fans. I mean, that was what was really cool, because I was like, okay, everyone's kind of together under this rain, and we had media passes, and we were going back and forth, but it was the energy. And you could feel the love and the pride.
I love
and
that.
I thought
It
that
gives
was
me
so cool.
goosebumps. Yeah. And there's just so much at that intersection. It's, kicking off the NFL season. It's celebrating the class of trainees. It's welcoming home, the previous Hall of Famers and their families and their children.
Right.
It's just really special.
It is.
Yeah.
But how many people will be here today? 3,000?
So we have the fashion show. There will be over 2,000 for the fashion show, and then another couple thousand come. Obviously, the crowd switches over. We move everything around. About 4,000 for the Gold Jacket dinner tonight. And then we do it all over again Sunday for the Chinese Roundtable. And that's really that event where they sit intimate, and they kind of just share stories. The hustle and bustle from the weekend is over, and they're all facing each other, seated in those comfortable chairs around. And that's a special one. And for that one, I would almost equate it like guys and their sons, and they make that their tradition, their family tradition.
So special.
Yeah.
So the sons are hearing the stories. He's watching your dad with his peers, talking about the game and talking about the locker room.
Yep.
A lot of guys don't really come home and talk about all that, especially when they're done. So for these next generations to be like privy to that, I think is just really incredible.
We always say it's the peek behind the curtain, that event.
Well, and that's really what this podcast is about. It's the peek behind the curtain, and it's not, it's what, there's so many things that go into it. I mean, I didn't realize that the fashion show has been going on that long here in Ohio, and it's
one of the inaugural events. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you, I got contacted on Facebook this year by a 101-year-old woman, B. McPherson. She's 107 months now. 107 months. I say 100.5. She was the first style show chairwoman. And so I was like, I need to come see you. I went to her house. She lives alone. Beautiful home. She was a female mat maiden in World War II and Battle of the Bulge, and her husband was a Marine, went overseas, and she chaired our first fashion show. I know. She said tickets were $3.50. So now they're about $100.
Right.
It was at the Onesto Hotel right downtown Canton, which has since been renovated. It's a gorgeous facility again. And just hearing her story, they had 300 people in attendance. So over, the last 59 years, we're up 100 or 1,700 people from that. But her stories are just phenomenal. They had the Browns and the Steelers' wives were their models for that first year.
Isn't that so cool?
1963.
I can't believe there wasn't a fight.
I know. Well, nowadays there might be. Maybe that's why we don't do that anymore. Logistics. It's become a challenge to get them to all their fittings.
Right.
But it's just, and hearing her say the designers and the downtown department stores that were a part of it. We have her giving a greeting this morning, just on video. She was coming until yesterday, but just with everything going on. And so she'll be giving a greeting. You guys are going to just fall in love with her.
Oh,
she's
that's so cool.
I asked her if she gets Botox, and she does not. So she's Syrian. She blames genetics on how great she looks.
I know she's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
So special.
Family.
But hearing those stories, and I mean, from the first, and hearing her pride of being involved in the first fashion show to now, and being able to see what it's become, she's, we've done her justice. We've done her proud.
Well, and as you said, because you said it a couple times, and this is what our podcast is about. It's about the stories, because you connect when you hear someone's story, whether they have a good story or a bad story, you connect in a deeper level. You connect in a different way, and it is so wonderful when you hear the person get excited about. Like, you could see the things that you're excited about and the things that your energy raises, and those are the things that fascinate me, and that's where my brain starts going. So I do have to ask, like, how did you get involved in this? Like, did you study for it? Was it one of these things that it just kind of happened, or were you in the right place at the right time? Did you work for it? Because there's people out there are going to be like, I want to get involved. How do you do it? How did you get your job? If you can give us a little bit of that.
Gosh, honestly, I feel like whether it's been a job, or something that I picked up or volunteering has led me to where I am today. And I just love my job. I say it every day. I love my job. I did go to school for communications, but spend some time spend some time doing special events. But I always knew I don't want to be the event planner. It's just not. I'm missing an action at any given point, you know. But the communications piece and the relationships piece
Yes.
is really where I thrive.
And that's me
so,
too. That's
yes.
why we're like kindred spirits. When you
Exactly.
said that.
Being
Yeah.
able, so even in your position here, being able to put other people in this seat and share their stories, love that. That's
Right.
why if you could sense, I was almost like, okay, wait, like there's more people I want to put forward before me sitting down, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I love it. I love getting to watch other people execute the events, and I would love to, you know, bring the event managers on here and they're running around like crazy, and then celebrating stories and just all of that kind of as in one. We put on this event at the Canton Regional Chamber, and so we're focused on the business community and businesses and kind of economic development, a vibrant community.
Right.
And so it's more than the fashion show. It's really the fashion show is a piece of our vibrant community, and all of that kind of at the end of the day completes the mission of not only the chamber but the hall, and celebrating excellence and honoring the heroes of the game, and it all kind of, you know, funnels up together, and I just get to do the fun part and share those stories,
Right,
and,
which is so great.
and yeah, bring people together. So
Right. It seems like that, you know, coming in, this is their second year.
this is my third year in an official capacity, but you know, how did I get involved? I was a volunteer at one point. I met the woman who used to produce the fashion show and helped her just staff the models at one point. I don't even know. There's so many crosshairs throughout.
But it's about networking.
It's about
And that
networking,
was what-
100%.
And it comes out every time we have conversations like this. It really is about networking, but networking by being curious, ask
creating
questions.
those relationships, asking questions. I mean, the second Cynthia reached out, instead of being like, oh, another media, it's like, you could tell you're curious and you care about the event, and it's
We
like,
really
okay,
do.
let's pull in. And so this has just been really special to have you guys here.
I do.
Well, we
I
thank
feel-
you.
Yeah, I feel that to me, I can feel that when you're just so open to like, how can I help this grow? How can I help everybody grow? How can we expand this? And so I feel
At
like
the end of
that's
the
what-
day, a rising tide raises all ships. And so we're all here to kind of elevate it, and that happens naturally. So,
Beautiful. I love that. And let's talk about your little girls.
oh yes, I got 2 little girls, an 8-month-old Blake and a 3-year-old Veda. And
love those names.
I know,
I know.
sweet. Oh, they're so darling. I would bring them, but they're a little crazy right now. But yeah, we're just really enjoying our time with them and getting them involved. They'll be at the parade tomorrow. So we've got the parade
So
at 8
nice.
a.m. followed by enshrinement at noon. I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
It always does.
Yes,
it always does.
always does.
Right?
So yeah, I try to get them involved where they can, and I brought my little niece. She filmed a volunteer video for us, and it's just kind of pulling in the family. And then one day they'll be like, "Yeah, I was involved at 3 years old," you know?
Right.
That's exactly what I wanted to say earlier. It seems like if you throw yourself in just because you want to help and you want to pitch in, it seems like that's when it leads to things that
Absolutely.
you end up doing. And that's
Yes.
what I think people
The
are afraid to
returns
do
are
that
there through
sometimes.
networking.
Yes.
I always say it's a long game too with networking.
Right.
You know, you're not going to leave a meeting or an event and be like, okay, check, I got what I needed out of that, because that's not the point of it. And if you think that, it's a terrible strategy.
Totally, right.
Yes. And even using the word strategy is terrible. Networking is not about really getting anything out. It's how can I help you, and in
Right.
return you get that. And so
Exactly.
sometimes you don't see it until a few years later, but
Or even
it's
sometimes 20 years down
20
the
years down the road. I can't imagine the people you're running into that maybe you know, those seeds were planted years ago.
Yes.
I used to get crazy when somebody would say, "Oh, you know, that's a good person to know." I used to get so I almost would want to have a discussion about it, about how much it offended me.
Right.
I said, no, that's a person you'll be blessed to know. That's a person you'll be lucky to know.
Oh, I love
Know
that.
them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, really know them, not get something from them.
I love that.
So I just feel like that
Right.
needs to be eliminated from all conversations.
It does.
You know?
Well, and you brought such a good point, because that's what people, if people get held back from fear, you know, they get held back from fear, but they also get held back because they don't know what to do. They don't want to ask questions because they feel stupid. And there's no really stupid question when
Or
you're
they feel
talking.
like they don't belong in that
Right.
conversation or something like that.
And it's so wrong. So anyone that's listening out there, that's what you have to do. You have to ask questions. You have to, you know, if you are talking to, I mean, I mean, if my kids could take anything that I teach them, it is about asking questions, but listening, right? So if you're talking to someone and they say something that you're interested in, so like anyone that's listening right now and what you do interests them, don't just sit there. Don't stuff it and be like, oh, I have no business. explore it. Start asking questions. Go out and see, how can I do it? Yeah,
Facebook me like B. McPherson did.
yeah, totally. But also like Google. People don't think about all the different things that you can do. If you have a dream or a passion, you have to go for it. You can't let fear or, I don't know, or your family situation or traumas or anything. You can't let that define you. You have to take you and do what's best for you and really go out there and slay it.
If you don't ask, the answer is no.
And what
I've said that twice this weekend now.
I love
don't know why.
it.
Yeah.
Good. I like
It's
that.
so true, though.
But yeah.
I love it.
Imagine if you guys didn't ask,
We would never know.
we wouldn't be here today.
I know. I'm so glad.
I
We're
love
so
it.
happy to be here.
This is just
we've
so
met so many
fun.
great people. So thank you for this
Yeah,
opportunity.
Yes,
absolutely.
Definitely. Thank you. And where can people find you, though? So do you live on Facebook the most, or LinkedIn, or?
LinkedIn, Kelly Piro, CantonChamber.org. You can find all of our staff, not only our Enshrinement Festival team, but the rest of the Canton Chamber staff. So if you're coming to Canton for the first time, it's a great first stop. Reach out to the Chamber. We'd love to, we're kind of in that connector role. So if you're looking for a business, place to
Right.
stay, whether it's the tourism side or interested in the hall, we can connect you to those people. So you'll find us there, CantonChamber.org.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you so much for joining YNS Live with NFL Thread.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. And I love that we're alike. And I love that Cynthia said, no,
I know.
we got the energy.
And I wore my hair like that yesterday, but
Oh, I can't wear mine that way because it will be like that.
it will be soon. All right, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes. All right, guys. So this is what's so fun, is bringing you behind the scenes. That's what we're here for. That's what we're doing. We're bringing you behind the scenes of things that you maybe don't know about, and things that you can get involved with. You might have a niece, cousin, neighbor, sister, brother, someone that has always been fascinated with communications, or they're going into college and they don't know what to do. Here are things that you can do. These are things that Kelly just gave you some really good ideas. Reach out to people, talk to people, ask questions. It's look how cool these guys.
And help out. Like, I think when people jump in
intern.
and help out, I mean, that's twice now that somebody has said, well, I just kind of wanted to help out, and then I ended up being really a significant part of it. Just because you can recognize when somebody is just, well, you're only going to help out if you're interested. So
Right.
don't be shy.
Don't be shy
to jump in and help.
and really anyone can use an intern, right? So
Oh,
if you
yeah.
have the time, you might not be getting paid, but you're getting the experience. And when you get that experience, that is, sometimes that's better than, other things that you're doing, because you're learning. You're also figuring out. What I always say is sometimes it's better to know what you don't want to do.
That's right.
Before you know what to do. So you have to
Exactly.
try everything. You have to go out there and really explore.
I agree.
And
Yep.
it's important, right?
That's true. I mean, we've all had things that we do that we look back on, and somehow, some way, even the things that are disappointing. Like, I had a couple things that I was really excited about that didn't happen. But my goodness, the phone rang a couple months later, and it was a different opportunity.
Right.
And it was like, if I had been angry or like broken ties because I was frustrated,
Right.
then that phone call would not have happened. So when things don't happen, you don't take it personally. You just say, okay, that didn't happen, but I learned something from it.
Right.
And then you just go on to the next.
Because you really do learn something from
Yeah,
every experience.
Exactly. That's
Yes.
true. Exactly. So I'm going to go out and take photographs of the pop-up shops.
Yes.
Because look how many people are out there.
There's so many.
And I would love for us to be able to share them somehow, some way. So
Yes.
I'll go capture some of that.
All right, perfect.
And and then I'll come back.
Okay,
Sound
perfect.
good? And
All
I'll
right.
probably have, there's a couple more people coming in.
Yeah,
I'll
so
probably
we're going
bring
to take
them
a
in.
little break. I can
I
go
think
out
that's a
outside
good
with you
idea.
too. We can
Oh,
go
do
out.
it.
Yeah.
Come with me.
And we'll come out and
Great.
and then we'll bring you guys back to some behind the scenes YNS Live with NFL Thread here at the Hall of Fame.
Thanks.
I'll give you guys a little weight bot music.
Nice.
It's no secret. It's plain to see. And I love you. And you love me. It's no secret. You know it's true. You love me. And I love you. The only time we seem to meet is in the middle of the night. Only then can I feel your heartbeat. Till something's not right. Together I see you and me, always and all time. But not everyone would agree. To them it's a crime. It's no secret. It's plain to see. Yes, I love you. Love me. And it's no secret. You know it's true. You love me. Yes, I love you. Day I think of you, looking for some sign that you feel the same way too. And I know you're mine. We can't use no telephone, but others can hear. And all I get is a dial tone, but the message is clear. It's no secret. And it's plain to see. You know it's true. You love me. Yeah, I love you. Yes, I do.
So we just talking.
Yes, we're just here. So Beverly, move in a little bit here. Yep, you got it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to YNS Live with NFL Thread. We are here again. Cynthia is talking over here, but we are bringing you guys the stories from behind the scenes. Beverly Lofton. We met at the at Super Bowl.
At Super Bowl at the Off the Field Thread Luncheon.
At the Thread Luncheon,
yeah.
yes. And so welcome back. And
Thank
so
you.
I would love to know a little bit about why you're here and a little bit about your history.
Well, I'm one of the Hall of Fame wives. I say Hall of Fame wives, but Hall of Famers wives.
Yes.
My husband James went in 2003, and so we have a broad. I think we have 104 guys who came back, and the ones who are married, I would say 75% brought their wives. And then we also have probably over 40 widows of Hall of Famers who returned this year, because the Hall of Fame has done a great job of including everybody. And so
amazing.
when we come, it's just a great time because you get to see the new class, which is younger than we are.
Right.
And then you also get to see, I think, well, let me go back. James went in 2003. And so I got to meet people who had been here since 97 and legends. And one of the things that was so beautiful is you get to see these guys who played against each other, and now they're all on the same team.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
And each guy has a number. Like James is number 220, and I believe there are 368 Hall of Famers, and
Wow.
I can't remember how many are alive. We've lost a few this year, and we even lost a wife this year, just about a month ago. So
Oh,
it's
really?
been hard.
Oh, I'm
and
so
so we are
sorry.
here as a family, and when people get together, the noise is so loud because it's just yakety, 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 and we're all catching up on children and marriages
Right.
and grandchildren and careers after football. And
Well, and that's the thing, and that's why I love bringing these stories, because when we were at the Super Bowl, all the events, the thing that, and you guys have heard me talk about this so many times, it was the energy and the connection that you wives have that I think is so special, and that people that are on the outside don't see it and they don't get to see it. But how many of you network, and how many of you guys do so many things behind the scenes that you don't talk about? And so that's why we brought YNS Live to NFL Thread to these events, because it's so important for me, because I'm a storyteller, I'm a woman, I'm a mom, and I know that we all need to support each other just to be better. And hearing stories connects us. right? When you hear someone's story, you feel a little bit more connected to them, whether it's a good story or a bad story, because not everyone, everyone has their people, not everyone has to get along, but you can respect each other without having to be best friends, because we all have had stories. We've all had things happen to us. And the more that we can uplift each other, get our stories out, the better this world's going to be, and we really need that. So I love being included in this. I love the feeling of this. And so if you can give us also a little bit of background, obviously your husband's in the league for a long time, but when you were a new wife, can you talk to some of the new wives out there that are or the new spouses that are oh my gosh, I'm so intimidated. What advice would you give them?
Well, when I first married James and went to Green Bay, he played 2 seasons already, and he played 16 seasons with the Packers, Raiders, and Bills. So each team has a personality, if you will. It has a different kind of chemistry. Each town has a different kind of chemistry, or city. And so James was a Los Angeles guy going to Green Bay, so there was an adjustment. But when you go, it's something about living in the fishbowl, which is the most challenging. And you know what? I don't know how the young wives do it today with all of the social media and the Instagram tweet. They're having to stay on social media to feel maybe relevant or to promote their brand. Right. And so it's important. So it must be such a delicate balancing act, because you still have to keep yourself and keep some of your life to yourself. Right. Because you know what? Everybody else having an opinion about your life has to be so difficult. So hard. Because every time I post something, and then you worry about editing the picture. Right. Did I send the best picture? And some days I do want to just let people know, it's okay to know that I'm having a rough time. Right. Or I don't look so great today, and I didn't edit it, and I didn't get the makeup on, and all of that. But it's life. It's life. But I will tell you, coming here to the Hall of Fame, when we were first inducted, I never put on a shoulder pad or helmet, but that's the way. But you were the support, and that's what you were the support. You were there, being his cheerleader, being his therapist, being his friend, being his confidant. I mean, the spouses do so much. Well, and there used to be. I remember being in a Bible study or something one time, and I'm a balcony person. Or it says you need that person in the stand, and you need that person who can even correct you when you're wrong and hold you accountable, and as a partner. Here at the Hall of Fame, one of the things I've noticed is I met a lot of people who were, say, 10 years older than I. And so when I first got here and I'm looking at them, and they were legends, and I've watched them age, I've watched them lose spouses, I've watched them navigate the health issues. And now we have a lot more attention on behavioral health, for example. Right. And that is so awesome, because it's giving everybody, and we talk to each other. So we get here and we'll say, did you hear about this benefit? Did you go to these doctors? Did you do this or do that? James has a coach who is a Hall of Famer, Marv Levy. Marv just turned 97 years old this week. Wow, happy birthday. And he is sharp as a tack. But, and then we have the young guys. We have Calvin Johnson here, and he is so awesome with the fans. We got to play golf the other day. They brought us in to play golf. But one of the things that I think more than anything is we all share the same struggles. Right. And James used to always say, you're going to one day be a former football player, whether you stopped in junior high, high school, college, pros, and the Hall of Fame is the last pinnacle, right? But you get here and you realize you're not any more important than someone else. Right. And I love that. To be real. Yes. It's been a great sisterhood. We have great women here who are doing great things. And I so appreciate you joining YNS Live with NFL Thread. And it's such a pleasure to see you. And I will be seeing you at every event, and you're going to be jumping on. Okay. And tell people where they can find you if they have. Do you do? I know. I always throw social media out there because you never know. But James and I sort of switch off on what we're doing, and I'm BB Lofton 3. Okay, perfect. And he is on Twitter, Lofton HOF. But perfect. We split it. We divide and conquer, because I don't want to be too much out there. Keep a little bit private. I love it. Right. All right. Thank you so much, Beverly. And that's right. He's Lofton with CBS. Too. Yeah. Do you mind just signing that so we can have your email so we can send you when we're going to put stuff out? Thank you. And please go help yourself to a gift bag. Okay, Julia. Thank you so much. It's so nice to see you. You too. Bye, everybody. So, guys, this is what I love. I love being able to bring stories. Cynthia is walking around getting some people. We have some more women coming on to share their stories.
So hi, how are you? And I know I've just met so many people. So yeah, so
Letha Atwater.
So Letha Atwater, and we were just talking to Beverly before, and if you just want to get a little closer to the mic, you do so much. And again, this is what's important for the story. So if you can introduce yourself, give us a little background, and then I want to dive into all the things that you're doing.
Okay. So I came with my husband, Steve Atwater, and he was with the class of 2020. But, COVID was going on. And we actually did not go through the induction until last year.
Okay.
So we were the new class on Saturday for his enshrinement speech. And then we were the old class on Sunday when the 2021 class gave theirs. So, it was a little bit different. It took a couple of years, but we're so excited and so glad to be here.
Well, it has to be such an honor, but really COVID,
Huge.
all the things that you had to navigate, it probably was like, oh man, what?
But to see that we all made it through, because it was something that didn't just affect us, it impacted the world.
Right.
And so like how to work through all of that. I think we're all stronger because of it.
And I 100% agree. I think there are so many things that, and I don't always like to give COVID a name anymore, but there's so many things that were positive that came out, and many, there was negatives, but I know if we all, I always look at the positives. I always try to find in anything. Cloudy day, I find that positive. I find that yellow flower that's sitting over there by itself. And I think that's really important. So I think it's special that they were able to still incorporate you guys and make it still special for you, which is wonderful. So can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the league as well? And then I want to get into your business.
So I jumped right in and I'm really passionate about mental health. That's my life's work. And Hall of Fame Health started around the same time that we got inducted. And so we just went full speed ahead. I joined the team, and we soon thereafter created all of these programs, and we go out now from city to city talking about the importance of mental health and addiction. I guess the difference is that we help all families. So it's not just Hall of Fame families, even though it's called Hall of Fame Health.
Right.
It's any NFL player's family members, so wives, kids, parents, and even friends of theirs. So our goal is to not say no to anyone who needs help.
Which I love. And that's another thing that I think people that, are behind the scenes, or not in the NFL or not in, professional sports, they don't realize all the stuff that the leagues are doing. And especially nowadays, they're really, talking to you guys, even talking to everyone at the Super Bowl. I wasn't aware of all the different programs they have. And now not everyone takes, we were talking to some young players with our series Pivot, and they said at the time they didn't want that help, but they knew that if they needed it, they can go back. And so I think it's really important that the league is talking to people like you that has a background, saying, how can we help the players? How can we help the families? Because that is what's important, because it is, it's a business, and you can talk to, players and families that it's a business, but it's a business, and you have to navigate those waters. And so, can you tell us a little bit how you got involved in that?
So in mental health in general, or?
Yes, both,
so
really.
In general, it's kind of a long sordid story, but I actually went to medical school, and then I stayed home with our kids.
Yes.
We have 4 beautiful children. And it was hard to put in those kind of hours.
100%.
So I just started volunteering at hospitals, always volunteering. I was in neuropsychiatry at that time. And so I really understand the brain and how it works, and the connection between our physical health and mental health. And so I just dove right in and went back to school and got all these licenses. And now I just work as a licensed therapist. And I think the connection for with sports is because I understand that side of it. So I understand what it's like to be the wife of a player, but I also understand what it's like to be the mother of kids who play the sport. And so just it helps a lot just having that background.
And it helps it really does help talking about it. And I think that for so many years, people didn't talk about it. And mental health, it's not a stigma. We all go through stuff, as we were just talking with Beverly before. We all have a story. We all have hardships, we all have, positive stuff, but it's important that it is brought. So I love that you chose to stay home. And then we're like, because it was, I did the same thing when I had my kids. I said, this is what I always wanted to do. I'm going to put my career on hold because I'm going to do this. But that doesn't mean when you put your career on hold that you can't then pivot into the next things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's what life is about. I think if we as a people learn more than anything, like going through this pandemic, that sometimes we do have to pivot, right? Sometimes we do have to like see life through a different lens and like change our direction in order to keep moving forward. And I did that several years ago. And I'm just so grateful. Back when I started doing this, mental health was like this big secret.
Right.
People didn't want to talk about it, huge stigma. And when we're going from city to city now with Hall of Fame Health, we're really trying to break that stigma and let people know that it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to, like, there's so much strength and courage in saying that I need help.
I need help.
And people seeing the players come out and say that. They're such huge role models that it lets, everyday people know, like, if they can admit to it, we can too.
We had Joe Barksdale on, and he was talking about mental health and really how, how it affected he and his family, and the amount of people that reached out to us behind the scenes and were like, thank you for sharing that, because seeing someone in, and again, it's the spotlight. Your husband, he didn't choose that, right? God chose that. I mean, I personally believe God chose that, not, the universe, whatever you believe. But when you can then be able to say, okay, I'm able to help a little bit because of my position. Absolutely. It's a really beautiful thing. And not everyone knows how to navigate that, and so it is a beautiful thing to see that. So where are you practicing?
I currently live in Denver, Colorado, and I practice there. Yeah.
Okay,
in the
wonderful.
Colorado area. Yeah.
So we have to, did you know Kim Wheatley, who we have to introduce you to her. So Cynthia will do it because she's amazing. Her husband, Tyrone, is with the Broncos, but her son was playing last night. Cynthia goes way back from Michigan with Michael Zordich and Tyrone. So we had the best time last night. Yeah, so we have to connect you guys.
Awesome. And her son plays for the Broncos?
So her husband coaches. Okay. Her son was just with the Las Vegas, so he got on the field last night.
I met them.
Okay.
I met them. I'm like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yes, I met them. We had an event with the Broncos. A back to football barbecue. Okay. And that's when I met her.
Yes.
Like, she had just moved to town. She's amazing.
She's amazing. So lovely.
Yes,
we were with her daughter, and it was just so cool for myself. And then Cynthia, because Cynthia knew TJ, the junior, when he was little, so to see him, and then he got to play, and he did really, really well. Yeah. So it was really exciting.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we'll make sure Cynthia connects you guys again, because that will be a nice connection for her and her kids as well.
Yes,
in Denver.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So is there a place that people can find you?
Counseling Center of Colorado.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. And I love, again, stories. It's so important. And I love what you're doing. And you have a service heart. I would love when we get back.
Passion. So much passion for this work. And I truly believe that we are all better when we can admit to, like, I'm not perfect. Right. Because the world sees these guys as perfect. They see us as perfect, and we're far from it.
Because as I said, we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and when you know that, and so I love what you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you mind signing in here, and then please get a gift bag? So and just sign with your email, because then we'll let you know when this goes live, and we'll get you some good little snippets and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you, and I hope we see each other at other events. Thank you so much. So everyone, again, this is where the ladies are coming in. This is so fun to get these stories. Again, we're bringing you behind the scenes because these stories are important. These stories, getting the wives, the spouses, what they're doing, and you can hear so much service. That's what it's so much service of people, their hearts. Wanting to help. So we appreciate you guys being here. Everyone that is live here on Fireside, thank you. And to everyone that is listening in, whether it is LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. I got some people on Twitch. We appreciate you guys. These stories, share them. Share this what Cynthia and I are doing here. We are here. We are at the Hall of Fame. As you can hear, it's getting louder and louder because the ladies are coming in, these fabulous ladies. Oh, please come sit down. I love the purple. So, Latresa?
Latresa.
Latresa. My listeners know I'm the worst at pronouncing names.
Me too.
Well, Latrice, so I'm going to have you get a little closer. You can also lift it up.
Okay.
And get it there.
All right.
But you want to get a little closer if you can, just so
Okay.
because this is getting loud in here.
Yeah, understandable.
Yes. So I know that you and Cynthia were just talking. I would love for you to introduce yourself and explain why you're here and a little bit about who you are. Yeah,
Okay.
please. Yeah. Jump in. Yeah.
Well, my name is Latrice Dolman. I am the wife of Chris Dolman, and I am here because I love coming back. My husband came back every year, and he told me how important it would be for me to come back if anything happened to him. So I love coming back representing him and being a part of the Hall of Fame family, just seeing our sisters.
I love that.
And also a very healing experience to honor him and
Yes.
celebrate him. Can you share what we were talking about earlier about going to the hospital? And
Oh, yeah.
what that meant,
So-
and how that started.
Yeah, so it started, I love giving back. I've been giving back since I was a young girl, before I really knew what giving back was. And when we were coming to Canton together for the first time, I wanted to go and visit the hospital to visit cancer patients. And my husband said he wanted to come with me. He said a lot of those patients, they may never see a Hall of Famer. And so we went to the hospital together. He would wear his gold jacket. And the patients were just so excited. And so we would come every single year. And then when my husband passed away, I continued to come. So yesterday I visited cancer patients, and I was able to see the newly built cancer center that they were telling us about years ago. And so we've been waiting to see it. And it was just beautiful. So we got a tour, and it's not even open yet.
I'm emotional. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, trust me, I get emotional too.
Well, the thing that's so beautiful is so many of you women have service hearts.
Yes.
Every single person. And that's what we don't see, right? We don't hear about that. And that story, that means something. Again, someone's going to be listening to your story, and they're going to be more connected because of what you're doing. And I think that's so beautiful and so special. And you know your husband's there all around you, being there like, oh my God, my girl, she's doing it, right? She's there. And so I think that is it's just such a beautiful thing that you're carrying on his tradition, something that you guys wanted to do together. And that's beautiful. That really is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I love that it's a tradition that you started. It was your tradition, and I love that he jumped in.
Yes.
And when you do service together, I think that it's just really, truly, I know that you guys impact people because of the game, but to impact people because of your hearts and because of your kindness, and that's a whole other story.
Yes, and I think that's what matters most. My husband and I, we both love giving back. We actually met at an event giving back together, and we were just so aligned. You can tell, I feel like God truly made me for him because of our connection and our hearts. Even when he was battling brain cancer, we would go and visit cancer patients, and one day we drove 3 hours. A social worker put him on the phone because the patient knew my husband. And she said, can you just talk to him? You'll make his day. And so my husband got on the phone, and he was talking to him. He said, hey, what room are you in? I'm on my way down. I'm going to come see you right now. And so we drove down to see him. He took one of his cards with him tackling the guy's favorite quarterback, and was sacking his favorite quarterback. And he autographed it, and then he spent time talking football and just different things. And the social worker just told him later just how much that changed that man's life. He was so depressed and down about having cancer and wasn't seeing anything positive with that. But after he had the visit with my husband, his whole outlook changed because my husband was going through it as well, but he was still smiling and uplifting and helping. Yes, and the fact that we drove that far just to say hi to him. And the entire hospital, still to this day, because I keep in contact with them, they always talk about my husband and him doing that. He truly had a heart of gold.
So that's so beautiful. So I get curious, right? I hear stories. So, and you said that service was in your heart before. Did you see it in your family? Was it something that you were just born with?
Yes. Honestly, it's the strangest thing because even as a child, I was the only one in my house that wanted to go to church. So my great aunt would drive all the way. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. She would drive from the east side to the west side to pick me up, take me to church, drive me back on the east side for church, drive me back to the west side, drop me off, drive back to the east side. And I was the first in my family to get saved, and I was the only one going to church. I've always been the one where everybody just asks, where did you come from? I've always just been the happy one, smiling, making cards. I would always hug and kiss my mother every day, tell her I love her. She didn't hug and kiss me and tell me she loved me, but I would do it to her and my brothers and sisters. I've just, my entire life, people are just like, where have you come from? You know, you're always smiling, and even when things, like if people heard my story of the things that I've been through, and they're just like, but you're always smiling. And I say, well, I look at the positive to every situation. Even with me losing my husband, I'm gonna try not to cry, but it's tough because I love him so much and I still do. But, you know, I look at the positive because even my husband felt that he got diagnosed so that we can help other people.
Right.
And so I wear these bracelets, and I started a nonprofit organization to come up with a cure so that nobody else will have to die from brain cancer. But, you know, I always look at the positives because God doesn't make mistakes and everything happens for a reason.
And I mean, that's what we talk about all the time, and that's beautiful. Here, do you want to get a little tissue?
Sorry.
No, please. But it is, I always say, I was just actually, when I was talking to the other women, on a great day, I always find that yellow flower.
Yeah.
Like that's just always been me. I mean, I have a positive family and stuff, but you can see that. And I was going to say, God made you for a reason, and he did make your husband for a reason. And I think it's beautiful that you guys look at it that way, and you're going to help so many people with your story.
Yes.
Because people can look at that outlook and say, if they can do it, I need to look. I need to ask questions. And that's what this is what this podcast is about, asking questions. How do you help? Because there's so many people out there that don't know how to help, right? They're like, I want to help, but how do I do it?
Yes.
And so can you tell what your charity is so people can also, and where they can find you?
Sure, definitely. My charity that I started is Go Gray for a Cure. Gray is the ribbon for brain cancer awareness and brain tumors. And so I started that in memory of my husband, and we have bracelet fundraising.
These are beautiful,
I actually make these bracelets so that I don't have to pay someone else. At first I was going to pay them, but I want the money going to life-saving, I want them going to life-saving brain cancer research. So that's why I volunteer to make these, and you can find us at gograyforaCure.org. And then we do a virtual 5K and just different things that we're doing.
Beautiful.
Next year we're putting on a golf tournament. I believe that we will find a cure. I'm not giving up.
Yes.
My husband is resting peacefully, and I am now fighting the fight for him because I was fighting with him, and now I'm fighting for him while he's resting. But we're on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Go Gray for a Cure.
Oh my God, I love it. So I'm going to have you sign in. Did you have something else you wanted to add?
So much.
Yes.
I'm so excited to share that. I didn't know about that, and I'm so excited to share about what you're doing.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I imagine that's a beautiful therapeutic kind of moment, and creating the bracelets with so much love.
Yes. And I wear these for my hubby every day. I
They're
golf
gorgeous.
in them. I thank you. And I searched hard for these gray ribbons.
Right. Oh my gosh. So you guys reach out. I mean, support this, and this is so many of you guys have stories and have experiences and beautiful things that you're doing. So thank you for joining YNS Live with NFL Thrive.
Thank you guys so much for having us, and thank you for spreading that positive light, because so many people, like you say, they think different things. So thank you for sharing stories that will definitely help change lives.
Yes, please. Thank you again. And please don't forget to sign in, because we'll tag you in everything that we do.
Awesome.
We'll share it. We'll give you all some good. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you're a beautiful human.
Thank you. You are too.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm still loving that pink dress.
Thank you. All right, guys. I need a little chapstick. How fun! What we're doing, sharing stories. I mean, what a beautiful woman. What a beautiful woman.
My girls out. I'll get in trouble. I'll just.
No, you're good. You were good.
So how are you?
I'm great. How are you, ladies?
Welcome to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Sarah Porter. I am married to Jim Porter, the new Hall of Fame president.
Oh, how fun! Right. So I actually am so excited because everyone kept saying you have to get Sarah on. You have to get Sarah on.
Here I am.
I know, and it's just incredible the energy that is here with Jimmy Porter, with your husband, and with you and what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Is it Jim Porter?
Yes, Jim Porter, correct.
I know Jimmy. My dad was Jimmy, so I have a bad.
Well, he goes by Jimmy in the football world. So he was a coach for years, and so Jimmy's definitely in some of the people's, vocabulary for him.
Fantastic. So everybody that knows him as a coach knows him as Jimmy.
Jimmy, correct.
Oh, see, you knew it.
I must have felt it.
You
You definitely felt that.
I knew that.
I love that.
Where did he coach here in Kansas?
So when he was 18 years old, he started coaching at Glen Oak High School.
Okay.
And of course, his name's gonna skip my memory right now, but he was he coached for Iowa State. I can't think of his name, but he was pretty famous back then. And then he came to Glen Oak and coached there. So Jim coached for years with him, and then Jim coached Little League and track and basketball and all the things. So, yeah.
So Jim was born and raised near here.
Yes.
And you were born and raised about
45 minutes north of here. Yeah, but I've been working in Canton since I was 19. So there used to be a jewelry store called John Gosser and Son Jewelers. It was right downtown, and I worked there since I was 19 till like 21. And then I started working at the newspaper, is where I met Jim, because Jim was at the newspaper.
No way.
So
Wait,
yeah.
were you covering a story on?
No. I worked with the newspaper carriers. So,
I love that.
tossing papers, throwing them on people's, doorsteps or in the driveway or wherever they preferred. So that's where I started with, I worked with the carriers, and sometimes I would have to deliver the newspaper routes. So.
Right. So I would love to know. I'm a curious person, and I love stories, and we're going to say this, and they're going to hear me say this 1,000 times.
Yep.
But stories connect, right?
Yes.
Stories connect people. You hear someone's story, whether it's a good story or a bad story or an unfortunate story. I wouldn't say bad story, but a sorrowful story.
Yes.
And you connect. So what is some of your favorite things about your new position as Jim's wife in this position, in this Hall of Fame Village?
So I don't know if you've heard of the love languages.
Yes.
But I'm a very servient person. So service is one of my favorite love languages, and also just people and spending time. So I don't know, I guess I'm a natural, I want to be around people. If you need a drink, there was someone last night who was like, hey, can you go get me a water, to her daughter, and she's like, I'm watching the game, Mom. And I'm like, do you want a water? I'll go get it for you. So I don't know, I guess it just feels natural to me to be, in this position.
Well, and I love that because again, every person that has come on, and this is why I love today doing these events. We were at the Super Bowl doing the luncheon and then the fashion show.
Yeah.
And every single person in this community has a service heart.
Yes.
Every woman, every man, everyone has working for a charity or has done charity work or, as something close or as the servant heart.
Yeah.
And it is so apparent. And I think it's just so interesting that, and I believe in God, whether you believe in the universe or God, but that God kind of created this world and was like, these are the people that need to be in this world because I've created them for that. And, a lot of times the like minds meet and they work together.
I agree
and
with that.
it's just so amazing.
And to have you as a partner, what is something that you're so excited about? There's so many new things happening. The village is incredible, and what you guys are bringing for the NFL families, where you're offering NFL families and others. What is something that you're most excited about?
I feel like just bringing the family unit back together is what's important. And I know because there's been a lot of separation a little bit over the years. And I think bringing everybody, making everyone feel important and included, and building the village and, expanding things at the hall and just making, things available for everyone to enjoy as a family, I think is what I'm most excited about. Because I have 4 girls. We have 4 girls. So we're always doing things as a family and running around and having other people's kids. And so it's just,
it's beautiful.
2 of the girls are in the fashion show.
Our 2 youngest ones are.
Yes, let's talk about the fashion show. Yes.
Yes.
So, go ahead.
Tell us about the girls in your
So the two youngest ones, so years ago they did the fashion show as like little bridesmaids or models, and then they went through like that awkward period and they're like, Mom, we're never doing this again. And then, last year it was like, maybe we'd like to do the fashion show again. And we're like, all right, we'll find out. We'll ask.
Right, so fun.
Yeah, so they needed models. So, of course, they were like, all right, we'll do it. So,
And how old do the girls?
So the two youngest are 16 and 19, and then we have a 25-year-old and a 28-year-old. The 28-year-old just got married, so a very intimate 473 type of wedding. So
Exactly.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Funny, my husband's from Youngstown, and I'm from Pittsburgh. So
Okay.
When we got married, even back in the day, 250 people was a lot of people
Yeah.
at the wedding for
Yeah.
He had to cut down from 600 people that
Yeah.
wanted to invite the wedding. I'm like, are you crazy?
No, 610 was on the invite list, so I feel you.
We
Right.
went down, I got it way down.
Yeah.
But it was hard.
Yeah, it is, because you want to include everybody, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, that's congratulations. That
Well,
had to be
thank you.
Yes, how fun. I mean, that is
Thank
such a thing. So, I mean, and it's wonderful, again, to have you here,
Thank
sharing
you.
your story again,
Thank you.
and just connecting with people, because that's what we're here about, connecting, networking, talking to people. Where can people find you if they have, or the Hall of Fame? Yes.
I mean, I'm everywhere. I feel like I work too, so I
Tell us about that as well.
Am I allowed?
Yes. Oh my God, that's what this is here for.
I do full body sugaring for a living.
Oh,
So,
amazing.
It's mostly intimate waxing or
Right.
intimate sugaring. Yeah. So I worked actually all the way up until yesterday till like 1 o'clock. My husband's like, "Girl, you gotta
Oh my
get
goodness.
involved."
See, this is we love this. This is what I love.
Don't get me in trouble.
Oh no, but this is what this podcast
Yeah.
is about. It's about your story.
Yes, yeah.
You're here supporting your husband.
Yeah.
But this is about your story.
Right. So
Tell us how
Yeah, and get close into that.
Yeah. My most popular service is a Brazilian, of course, but I do, legs, arms, face, everything. So, and sugaring is a natural process, and I don't know if you know much about sugaring versus waxing.
No, but I've just learned a little bit because we had someone on sugar and bronze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so please
So,
explain.
all right. So wax, which I did for years, it adheres to live skin cells, so you have that like red chafed feeling. Sugar does not. So it only exfoliates the dead skin cells. So especially for intimate waxing, it's much better.
Right.
1,000 times better. People walk away and they're like, I didn't even realize I had all my hair pulled out.
Wow.
Yeah, you come see me. Come see me anytime.
Yeah. So where can people? Where are you?
So I'm located off of Dressler Road, right in Canton by Belden Village.
And what's it called?
It's called SG Studio 103. So
we'll get that on your thing.
Yeah. So please. Yes. Please.
Okay.
Please. And how did you? What I want to know. What now? So now, in fact, how did you get involved?
Okay,
in that?
so
Yeah.
I went to nursing school, and because my mother had passed away, my kids were all in school. I'm like, I need to do something. And because I'm so service oriented and I wanted to connect with people, I'm like, nursing's the best route for me, right? So I went, and then I was like, okay, 12-hour shifts. I'm not connecting. I'm charting. I'm doing a lot of
administrative stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
administrative. I was like, this is not what I want to do. So my one girlfriend's like, go to SD school, go to beauty school. She's like, you'll find something that you love. And I'm like, really? Are you sure? And I'm like, I just finished nursing school. I'm trying the nursing thing. She's like, no, girl, go to SD school. So I went, and I fell in love with waxing. And then I learned about sugaring about 5 years later. And I was like, okay,
You're sold.
Lord, I guess this is what you wanted me to do. Just,
So that's
sugar
so
people
amazing.
all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a very mentoring too. I really get to know my clients, and we talk about all the things, from kids to husbands to their
Right,
jobs to
right.
when women turn 45 and their kids are out of school, done with school, and they're like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm like, let's find you
Yes.
something to do. Like one of my favorite clients just went to barber school because I was like, girl, you're fabulous. Like, I think you'd work great with men. Go to barber school. And she's like,
I love that.
I can't thank you enough because I would have never done this if you wouldn't have suggested it. So that's
Yes.
that's my niche in life.
It's a little bit of
So
psychiatry when you do it.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
yes, yeah.
Which is amazing, and that's why this podcast. That's what I love because
Yeah.
you could hear how excited you just got. Like everyone can be like, oh, this is her passion. This is her passion.
Right.
And that's what we love it.
We talk about all the things.
Yes. Well, they said don't talk about vaginas when you get on the radio. I'm like, okay, I'll try not to, but I just want everybody to feel comfortable, right?
No, it's well, you're a girl after my heart because I talk about everything all the time. You don't know what's going to pop out of my mouth. And
that's what I said. I said sometimes I don't have a filter. I don't know that my husband appreciates that part of me, but I'm honest. Like you want to ask me a question, I'll tell you.
Yes. No, I love that. And I love that you encourage people to follow passions because that's what we are doing with the podcast. That's what we want people to listen to stories and be like, I'm either stuck in life or my kids are at a different time or I stayed home. What do I do? And listen to stories and get inspired and be like, you know what? I can do it. Why? If they can do it, why can't I do it? So that's what we encourage you guys. Don't be stuck.
Yes.
Don't get into fear. Go and do something. Talk to people because that's the thing. The talking, this is where I talk about daydreaming. You can talk about meditating, but find the space where you can daydream the life that you want. And when you get something that sparks something where you're interested, follow it. Ask questions. Network. It is so important. And you're going to hear these stories all throughout the day here about. I mean, I love that. I love that. I mean, that was so. That's amazing.
And share your story because someone might be healed from the pain you went through, and females blossom through life. And I think sometimes we don't understand, this is where you're blossoming, this is where your life is going to be big again, because there's ups and downs in a female's life. So true. And not enough people talk about it.
I remember, and I always love to share when I can. My dad, things weren't really working out for me at one point. I graduated from college, and he used to call his daddy all the time, because his grandpa called him grandpa. I guess he didn't know all their names. So he was yelling at grandpa. So my dad was like, Daddy, listen, it's just not your time to shine. And I just was like, okay, I can go through a moment like this and I can figure it out. But you're not always going to be up. You're not always going to be doing the great things. Sometimes you're going to fall. And I always try to remember that and say that to my kids. It's okay. It's just not your time.
That's where you learn too, right? When you fall,
100%
is when you learn.
Yeah, that's when you learn the most, and that's what I always say. I don't call it failure. Sometimes I'll say missteps, but those times where you're in the hard times, you have to look and be like, what's coming out after this? You have to get through it the best that you can, and then look to the positive because something big, some lesson is in there, and you have to be more aware and more alert, and do that daydreaming.
I always think you can find that positive in the negative because
100%.
Life's 50-50. You're going to have the good, you're going to have the bad, but if you can find the good in the bad, the percentages are higher for the good. So
I love that. I love that. Yes. Oh my gosh. Thank you. This is so fun. Wonderful.
It's velvet in the summer. I don't know. I just went out.
No, I love the color. Oh my God.
It's fashion, right? You can wear anything.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So please sign in here and leave your handles, and then don't forget to get.
Yes. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. And don't forget to get your little gift bag over there as well.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Living Libations gave us some wonderful peppermint scrub. Yes. Oh my God. Canadian company, Story. I mean, they have a story. So wonderful. Check them out as well. And you guys don't see what we are seeing right now. We're seeing a group of wonderful, fabulous women sitting and eating and conversing and getting ready for lunch and having some mimosas. All right. So we'll be back in a second. Yep. YNS Live with NFL Thread. We'll see you guys soon.
I've got less than 10 minutes. I got to go back and get dressed.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God. So you're going to be doing? Are you?
I'm a model. Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
So that was the chat.
Okay, wonderful. Yes, okay. So welcome back to YNS Live with NFL Thread. Cynthia's over here, but we have one of the models from the fashion show, Molly Geiselman.
Correct.
Oh, I never say it right.
It.
So, oh my God, I say it right.
It's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one. So give us a little background of who you are and how you got involved.
All right. So in 2005, I was on the Hall of Fame court when the court and girls were still a thing,
right?
Which I hold dear to my heart. It was the best summer of my life.
Wonderful.
I was modeling in my young 20s, and someone approached me and asked, "Would you like to be in the fashion show?" I said, "Of course. Why not? Who doesn't want to do that?" So that was in 2007. And here we are in 2022, and I'm still here.
And you're still doing it. Oh my God, how fun is
Haven't
that?
skipped a beat. I had 2 little girls, and timing worked out great.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
And how fun for them to see. How old are the girls?
I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Okay, so they're still young to understand, but they'll see that you got involved in something. And I mean, I think it's so cool that, again, it's the community.
It is.
It really is.
And
Talk a little bit about that.
It's like a village here. I mean, it really is. Being a part of this community and this village is amazing. And I run a safety village program for Jackson Township, so my community is super dear to my heart.
Right.
And just seeing all of us come together, with the pandemic and everything that's changed times, it's so comforting to see this room full of amazing women again, and here to celebrate an amazing weekend.
And again, the energy, I mean, this is what I always talk about, the energy and the connection that everyone has. So you've been doing this for years and years, so you probably see some of the same people.
Yes.
They're excited
and
to see you.
It's a tradition. A lot of women I've talked to over the years, their table is being passed down for generations to come. Like, that's the one thing in their will. Like, you can have all that you want, but don't get rid of our Hall of Fame table at the fashion show.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So, that is so cool.
It is. It really is.
And I know some of the women have been talking about, their husbands and how it's, the guys come with their sons and the women come with their wives, and then they come as a family, not to segregate it.
No.
But it's a special tradition, and you can feel that. And that's why I think this is I'm so excited to be here and get these stories out and talk. Where can people find you?
So I'm a stay-at-home mama now. I used to be a newborn care specialist. I used to take care of newborns, and I traveled the country helping exclusive families get their babies sleeping through the night. So when I had my girls, it was awesome because I knew exactly what to do.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm still here in Canton. I've never left, born and raised.
I love that. And you feel that community here, too. And I stayed home with my kids, and it was the best time of my life. And then I started this as they got older.
Right. That's what I always say. I have plenty of time.
We all have, and this is what, again, I tell the listeners, and I know you have to run in 2 minutes, but what the listeners need to hear, especially as women and mom, we all have different times in our lives. I chose to stay home. My sister had kids at the same time. She chose to go back 1 day a week. She was able to do that. And then when she had 4, then she stayed home a little bit more. But whatever you do, it's important to do what's best for you and your family.
Yes. And I think women evolve. We're not stagnant, that we're not just moving with the waves. We're constantly changing and growing and becoming mamas and mothers and girlfriends and all the things. Each chapter of our life is different and beautiful. And
we learn.
Yes.
I mean, that's where when I was raising my kids, and they're in their teens, so they're not there. But when they were little, I used to tell them stories.
Yeah.
And I used to literally make these stories up in my mind, and they would love it. People would come, "Oh, you need to write a children's book." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just doing this for, it's fun." But that's where I perfected storytelling.
Yes.
And I look back at that and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I didn't stay home with the kids, I wouldn't have perfected that in the way I did.
Yes.
So it's such a beautiful, so enjoy.
It is.
And I mean, there's hard days, there's good days.
There are very hard days. There are very hard days, but I know it is worth it all. And one day I will look back at these years and be like, where did they go?
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for joining. I can't wait to cheer you on.
Yes. Stay tuned. I'm the grand finale. So
oh my God, amazing.
I can't wait to hear the reaction we get for this one.
Yeah. Can you just put your email? Because we'll when we are tagging things on social media, we'll just, there, if you can just put your email and contact information.
Yes.
All right. So nice to meet you, and good luck. You're going to kill it.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, this is what's awesome. I mean, these are the stories that we're taking you behind the scenes that you would never hear. So we're going to come back in a couple minutes with another guest. All right, we're good.
Thank you so much.
Yes, oh my God, good luck. Yes. We'll be bringing you guys some more guests. Everyone's eating, and I'm just going to sit here and put a little hand sanitizer on and wait for Cynthia to bring some other people and get you guys some more behind the scenes of what is happening here at the Hall of Fame here in Canton, Ohio. I love all these stories. I love how so many people have come up and how many women have the heart, the service heart. So we're gonna pause right now because we have some people coming up and talking, but we will see you guys soon.
It's no secret. It's plain to see. And I love you. And you love me. It's no secret. It's a crime, it's no secret. It's plain to see. Yes, I love you. And you love me. And it's no secret. No, it's true. day I think of you, looking for some sign that you feel the same way too. And I know you're mine. We can't use no telephone, but others can hear. And all I get is a dial tone, but the message is clear. It's no secret, and it's plain to see. Yes, I love you. I know you love me. It's no secret. You know it's true. You love me. Yeah, I love you. Yes, I do.
Is it going to be too loud with everybody walking out?
As long as you're right in.
If you're right in your mic. So, okay, you got to move in a little bit. So excited to be here again with Sharice Brown. I'm like so excited. I mean, I feel like now this is like the third time I get to sit and meet you, and you're just as lovely as ever.
You guys are so sweet.
This is your element.
This is truly in my element. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that you guys are here. When Cindy texted me and said you guys are going to be here, I was like, yes, my sisters are going to be at the Hall of Fame too. Not just Super Bowl, but Hall of Fame as well.
Right.
So, yes.
And you know what I love the conversation that we were just having a little bit behind the scenes about the sisterhood within the sisterhood.
Yes.
So can you touch a little bit about the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Hall of Fame to me, I always think about, of course, our off the field sisterhood, how special it is. This is even more special because you're being able to meet ladies who have been a part of this for 50 plus years. And there's not an age, like you have your veteran wives, you have the current new member, the class that's coming in, and you get to welcome them in like they welcomed me in. And it is so special. And we look forward to this like every year. I was sharing with you ladies about the luncheon yesterday. And I'm telling you, it's just so sweet. You get to come up and, say hello, and they remember you. They're asking about your kids. They're asking about, everything that's going on, and, really just sharing our memories and sharing all our new things that we're doing. And we're just always grateful to just see each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
The road to the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
The road to the Hall of Fame. It isn't like everybody sees the knock on the door.
Right.
There's that period in between.
Oh,
when
my
you
goodness.
Know they should be in the Hall of Fame. What
Very
was
much
that
so.
like for you, that period in between?
That was hard for us because, of course, Tim was always told that he should be a first ballot, and that didn't happen, So he was eligible in 2006. And he actually didn't go in until 2000. Well, let me say this. He retired in 2006. You have to wait 5 years. So his eligibility would have started in 2011. So that first year, he didn't go in. That second year, he didn't go in. And he got to the point where he was like, well, maybe it's not going to happen. And it ended up happening in 2015, which, you know what? I hear a lot of people say that, well, it's just so sad that, it took you that long. But when you think about it, it's all about God's perfect timing. Because our children were young, and our youngest son, Timothy, said, think about this, Dad. If you would have gone in then, we wouldn't have been able to really understand and get the whole experience of it. He says, so it's okay that you went in when you did in 2015. Now they're like 12 years old, so they got to be a part of the entire thing and really enjoy it and really, really be able to celebrate their dad. Yeah.
Presence of mind to know that.
Yeah.
And that just says so much about him
Yes.
as a son,
Yeah.
and as a person,
Yeah.
to even think of that.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
But when it happened, tell us about that.
Oh my gosh, so special. So the knock at the door came, of course, and we were in Phoenix, Arizona when Tim went in, and the knock at the door came, and he just knew that it was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And the tears flow because you're so just excited and you're so grateful. And you think about the hard work that he put in for so many years, and you think, wow, I'm being celebrated and I'm going to be honored for my, contribution to the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think, oh God,
that
it
totally
really
gave me
did.
such chills.
No, I'm telling you. And of course he called his mom immediately and started crying and was like, I'm in, and I'm getting emotional.
Yeah, I'm totally going to get emotional too,
even
right?
just reliving that part of it.
Right. Oh,
and our
beautiful.
kids were there, and I don't know, it just made him just realize, you know what, God is so good. For me to even be able to play as long as I did, to be healthy and remain healthy,
right,
and able to walk across that stage and be honored like that. I mean, it meant the world. It meant the world to him and to us as well.
Right. Okay, I was going to say,
Last question.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
What was it like when you saw him put that gold jacket on?
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, the tears just came. his brother was the one that actually put his jacket on, and his brother was the one who, when he was younger, would throw the football to him. And he said he would throw the football to him so hard for like hours at a time. So he said he is the reason why, part of the reason, of course, God-given talent, but he was the reason why I worked so hard and persevered and, was dedicated to the game.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know you do so much stuff. I mean, with Off the Field.
Yes.
I mean, all the events that you go to. What, and I think I know this answer, but I would love to hear it from you.
Yes.
What does, this event, and as you kind of gave us a little insight about the, the luncheon and all this stuff,
The
this
luncheon,
event mean?
yes. So the luncheon to me, of course, is always special, but we have partnered, and of course, you ladies know, Off the Field partnered with Hall of Fame Health. So they had already texted me and said, hey, we want you to say a little bit about Off the Field and the partnership with Hall of Fame Health. And I'm like, of course. And I was able to share what we were doing along with our video from our Lunch and Learns, because of course we had the Lunch and Learn in Dallas, and then we just had the one recently in Houston. So we were able to just talk about the services and the that are available for NFL wives and families and husbands, and it was just special to know that we can get that word out. And even some of the ladies at the luncheon weren't aware of Off the Field, and were like, what? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me tell you about Off the Field. So I gave a little brief history of who we are and what we've been doing since 2011, and didn't even go as far back as a fashion show, which we're 21 years in on that.
Right.
But was able to share. And I had so many ladies come up to me and was like, okay, I want to be involved. I want to be a part of it. So that in what we were just sharing, we have to get those ladies in and let them be a part of it. They said it hasn't been a women's organization, an NFL wives organization in years, anything like Off the Field. And
Which
to
is so
hear
special.
that was
Yes.
so special. So you're hearing this from veteran wives who've been around for 50 plus years.
Right.
Yes.
I feel like that too. I was talking today, I feel like the Hall of Fame, that we should all come to this weekend.
Yeah.
We should
Yes.
get
Yes.
as many members to come to watch.
Definitely.
And to be part of that and to actually just mingle together.
Yes.
Because I think today, especially, engagement is the most important thing.
I agree.
We have to be together.
Yes.
We have to talk. It's all word of mouth. And
Very much so.
I feel that growing. 'Cause
Yes.
I feel like that even today. And everything that we do, I get to talk about what we do Off the Field
Yes.
everywhere we go. And because we do things, and that's what we do here.
Yeah.
You guys, I didn't know everything that you did here.
Oh, my
Right.
goodness.
The Hall of Fame, it's like they say it takes a village. That's what I feel like the Hall of Fame is becoming.
Yeah.
They're really doing
Yes.
so much. Can you share some of that?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
And you're saying how it takes a village, and it does. I think the camaraderie of bringing all of these guys back the way they come back, and having the wives be a part of it. And once again, it's a family-oriented event. And what do we want to reflect on? Family.
Right.
We want to show how us coming together, how we can make a difference and make a change. And even I brought up the Wives Luncheon. Yesterday, we collected money so we can buy gift cards to give to local community, foundations to be able to support. Once again, here we are in Canton wanting to support, wanting to come in and make a difference. And that's what's happening here. So, like you said, bringing everyone back together each year, and I think all of us should come. Of course, a lot of our Off the Field wives came for Tim's induction, and then some are coming in for Brian Young's induction tonight. I think we should make it an event that we all attend. I really do.
And that's the thing. Again, when I was at the luncheon and the fashion show at the Super Bowl, the community, but the things that people don't see behind the scenes, and that's why I think this this show is so important. YNS Live with NFL Thread, because we're giving the stories out there and what you guys do, and you're also always so humble. That's every single
so
woman.
sweet.
Even you, everyone. You guys are all so humble, and that's what I think people that are not in the league need to hear.
Yes,
because every single one of you have a service heart. And I was saying, I think it was in the conversation before, is that I think what's beautiful is that God has put you all together.
Yes.
And really is like, you guys are going to do more things. And the fact that it just continues and continues, I think is so special.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope you have so much fun.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yes. You just, only thing is, I'll tell you, you need a nap after all of this.
Oh, I'm sure.
Tim was leaving out to go and do something, and he's like, okay, what do you have on your schedule today? I'm like, yeah, what's on your schedule today? And then we meet back.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what I love the most. They grab the wives.
Yes.
And you're doing this, and then they
Yes.
grab the players, and you're doing that. You're just
Yes.
as busy. I mean, they're walking their wives through it. this
You're
time.
right. You're right. You're so right.
Yes.
So, but you already know. Love you guys, and thank you so much.
Well, go enjoy it. I'm taking
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yes. Thank you again,
Okay,
Teresa.
you guys
And,
are so welcome.
Again, YNS Live with NFL Thread. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
So everyone is heading out and leaving, but I mean, how many awesome stories that we were able to just bring you from this luncheon. And this was like, bye, we'll see you later. It was just a little snippet, just a couple people. And I think what's so beautiful is that we were able to bring those stories. We were able to share them. We will be back. We are going to head over to the luncheon, the fashion show, and we'll give you guys a little snips over there.
All right, everyone. So we are concluding the luncheon part.
Yes.
Right? And we're heading.
Chicken.
Yeah, just so for all my friends out there that know I've been pescatarian for a lot of years, I just ate chicken. And
Angie had a burger
the other day.
One of Michael V's fancy burgers.
I had to. But so yeah, I was like, I'm starved, and this is what I got to eat. So I had to do it. Anyways, not that you guys needed to know about my chicken. We are now headed to
the fashion show, which is going to be incredible to see.
So follow us on our social media, because we're not going to go live here on that. We're going to give them their privacy, but we're going to do some fun stuff on our Instagram, which is both on here. You guys can see.
Exactly. So from there, we'll do the fashion show, and then we're going to get set up outside. And it's going to be incredible as the Hall of Fame gets ready for the Enshrinee Gold Jacket Award dinner.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, after talking to Charisse, I cannot wait to see these guys beaming and their families surrounding them as they have a procession that comes through. And I cannot wait to watch that.
It's going to be really fun.
If we can catch some of them, we are going to try to catch anybody that's really there.
So we're going to bring this outside. This we're going to see how that goes outside.
And that'll be at about 4
o'clock. It's already scheduled in here. You guys can catch that there.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you for joining Wine This Live.
Thank you so much.
With NFL Fred. All right, guys. We'll see you soon.